Okay, everybody, we should be live now. Hello and welcome to another stream with Offensive Security. I am S1REN, and I will be your host today for this stream. We do these once a week. If you're watching this on YouTube by any chance and you happen to miss the Twitch stream, that's totally fine. Go ahead and skip forward about to the 30-minute mark, and that's the hard start. For anybody who is joining, we're going to go ahead and take this time to set up the machine, answer questions, get some feedback, that kind of a thing, and try and help others as much as we can collectively as a community. So I'm just going to go ahead and actually, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and grab the link to DC6, which is the machine we'll be doing today. That is Delta Charlie 6, DC6. Let me go ahead and do that. I am surprised at how quickly I hit the start stream button and we just immediately, I don't think it was 30 seconds, and we already had people, like a couple dozen people just immediately that were sat down. It's pretty cool, and cheers. Okay, welcome DTH. DTH, the first to drop a message. Very much a regular. Thank you, buddy, for being here. Hope you enjoyed the stream and hope you had a great weekend, DTH. We have a first-time chat from Noob44P. Says hello. Hello, Noob44P. Welcome to this stream. Have a seat, so to speak. Enjoy yourself. I'm going to go ahead and drop the machine. Drop it hot in the chat. That is vulnhub.com/entry/DC tax 6, 315 / and you will be able to go ahead and download that machine. It is an OVA file. If you double click it and open in VirtualBox, then all you have to do is really set your DHCP settings and you're good to go on that front as well. Greetings, great people. I'm officially 3 boxes behind. Tranquil Rage, welcome back. We've missed you, buddy. Welcome back, Tranquil Rage. And hopefully you can go back to YouTube and you can just go ahead and you can catch up maybe this weekend or something. But everyone is now swinging in. It's good to see you guys. Happy weekend. Happy weekend. If you are unfamiliar with what offensive security is, who offensive security is, or what we do, I am S1REN. I am a content developer for Offensive Security. I am a student educator and a streamer here. And I would be more than happy to go out of my way to try and help answer your questions, point you in the right direction, provide some mentorship there. If I can't, then that's no problem. We have 24/7 student mentorship available. Our student mentors are top class. And just feel free to make sure you use all the resources at your disposal. We have all these resources for a reason, and they've been invaluable for decades. So let us have shell. Ahmed Shetta says, let us have shell. I agree, let us have shell. Happy Friday from HeoXAC says, happy Friday, my friend. Electrosim, I hope to learn something new today. And Geomix says hello, so hello, everybody. We have about 25 minutes or so, right? 25 minutes, and you can go ahead and download it, import it, ask any questions that you like. Geomix7 says, I was looking, I assume you mean at the cheat sheet in your site. For example, refer shell, I did not find it.r. You going to upload it? Okay, so you didn't find my rev shells. That's fine. I'm just gonna, what can I do there? I mean, I guess I could, but There are so many. I mean, I end up using, it depends like on the target OS and the technologies that we have available, right? So whatever my target is, I have to take that into account. And I also have to take into account the technologies and capabilities at my disposal. Whatever I can do to establish, standard input, standard output, standard error over a TCP/IP connection with regards to bin bash, or bin shell, bin dash, bin ZSH, you name it. But let's see, vape, drink, pop, and chill, my friend. Happy Friday, and hopefully we can all just have a good time here. Geomix7 says, you said in a previous walkthrough, if I am not mistaken, that it was in DC4. I mean, I can go ahead and just drop my rev shell command. In fact, let me go ahead and boot up my machine. I need to go ahead and boot up my machine. See, it's so easy. I just click start. I know you can't see it, but you just click start, boot up Debian, and then the machine should be live on DHCP. And let's scan it down. There it is. Export the IP. That way I can have it ready for you guys in the next 15 minutes at the hard start. What I will do for you is I will pretty much pull up, actually while I'm doing this, Geomix, is it Geomix7? Go ahead and check out Pentest Monkey. That's Scott Milk's website. Utilize that resource, my friend, please. Utilize that resource. Okay, there we go. And it is on 167, I believe. So today's, it says OffSec special stream with Siddiqui. Let me go ahead and edit that. Did you guys enjoy that? I enjoyed it a lot. I only got to moderate the chat, but I mean, that's one of our trophy machines, and I absolutely loved it. I thought he did a fantastic job. So I'm going to go ahead and put, this is going to be DC Delta Charlie 6, walkthrough with S1REN, and I'll save that. Let me know if it updates for you guys. It just updated for me. You guys enjoyed it? Great. Great. That's excellent. That's good news. That's good news. I like to hear that. Good news is always a good thing. So let's... Okay. I'm just exporting my IP environment variable. I'm reading the chat passively here. Turns out I was using the wrong exploit, ROFL. Rookie mistake. Yeah. New error. Yeah. Hey, man, that happens. That happens. And we learn as we go, right? We learn as we go. Let's see. And you may be able to hear my cats in the background. Do apologize. So for this machine, I do want to show you guys one thing. I'm going to go temporarily and then we'll go back to... So I'm just going to go to Broadcast Studio here. Which one is it? Input source streaming. So just temporarily here, you'll see how I've, a little bit of precursor stuff, right? Excuse me. I can echo out my IP environment variable. Now, this machine, you're going to need to make a little change. If you nano your etc hosts file, you're going to need to nano that and go ahead and drop the IP in, followed by the host name resolution, and that will be wordy. And that is pretty much all. So if we cat etc hosts now, you will see that we have .167 for me. It's going to be different for you. That's totally fine. And we have wordy. Excellent. So I'm just going to come back here and there we are. Did you guys have a decent week? Did you guys have a decent week? Decent work week? I did. Okay. Quiet chat today. In the end, Hexoc I see says in the end, started off a bit rough and stressful. I hear you, bud. Mary Flash says, siren, siren. Heart. Heart you too, buddy. Thanks for the love. Hex AC, have you? Noob 44p, yes. Tranquil Rage, going way too fast. It is. And that, on that, I would like to say that this is the official offensive security stream. And because of that, there are certain rules and guidelines. I would like us to refrain from any political speech, right? If we can refrain from any political speech, we all know that there are some pretty bizarre and crazy things happening in the world today. But let's just go ahead and leave it at that. Yeah, it is, Tranquil Rage. It is going by pretty fast. I will agree with you there, my friend. I will agree with you there. Just gonna drop the link to DC6 one more time in the chat. Jehan Macaron says, hi, where can I find your command cheat sheets? So if you go to Discord and you go to Wireside Text, in fact, I'll go ahead and share my screen. I don't see why not. We have 15 more minutes. I'm just going to share my screen for a moment. I'm going to hop over to Discord. You'll see this is our official Discord, and this is kind of the channel that we utilize, right? And if you go to the pinned messages, you'll see at the very top that I have a message corresponding to, or a response rather, to that type of question in much more depth. So hopefully that provides you an answer. Noob44p says, yesterday OffSec was streaming live. Is there 2 streams in a week, Siren? So we had one stream, I believe, this week from Siddiqui, who's one of our student mentors. And he was streaming Alice, which is one of our trophy machines in the demilitarized zone, the DMZ. So it was a pretty special one, and we made sure to get that one up on YouTube for everybody. Let's see here. Dumb question. No question is dumb, my friend. No question. But dumb question. How open to anyone when doing up formal reports? Should you make recommendations for a client's environment or leave them to figure out how to secure themselves? No. Please give them recommendations. We are security professionals. We are the ones they rely on. We are the people that are the backbone of any organization's security. That is you. So please encourage testing environments, dev environments that are segregated on the network, right? Isolated, and encourage proper network segregation testing to make sure that they're extra separated and nothing is getting through, right? So when you're making recommendations for clients' environments, yeah, those are the big ones. Make sure that you encourage them to have an internal network, preferably behind SSO and behind some kind of unique identifier, be it a K-ring or whatever it is. These are standard place for most organizations today. And if you are working as a penetration tester for an up-and-coming company or organization, then by all means, it is, in my opinion, it's our responsibility. We are the authorities when it comes to security for an org. We're the people that are looking for the holes, that are looking for the gaps, that are providing the remediations, and so on and so forth. So absolutely, I do think so. But leaving for them to figure out themselves, i.e. it could be too late. You know what I mean? You would not want them to figure that out themselves. Any and all suggestions that you can provide as a professional, as a penetration tester, you should be able to provide. Tranquil Rage says, cheers, Siren, the more you know. Absolutely. Cheers, mate. Jester Juco says, happy Siren Day, everybody. Jester's funny. Oh, I mean, I just say, it's happy Friday. It's a good Friday. We're going into the weekend. We're doing it. We're making it happen. Cheers, absolutely. And yeah. Chat seems a little quiet. I do want to add that if you have any friends that are into information security, by all means, send them the link, twitch.tv/OffSec official, and see if they can get into it. I try to walk people through things kind of like step by step, explain the reasoning behind why I do something, get the community's take on it as much as possible. That way we can get people involved, right? So, see, we're up to about 45 concurrent users, which is nice. Jester Juco says the consistency of every Friday is so helpful. I do go out of my way to make sure that these are consistent. So I am very appreciative that you noticed that. Directory says hello. Hello, Directory. Welcome back, buddy. Glad to see you. So we have about 10 more minutes before the hard start. That is 10 more minutes. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, now is the time. How can I get the DC6 VBox VMIPs? So if you have it up on DHCP, HexOAC, I'll go ahead and demonstrate just real quick for you the command that you would do, and I'll do a little explaining as to what it is as well, right? So once you have the machine fired up inside VirtualBox, here it is, right? DC6 says DC6 login. It should say that. You're going to want to type ifconfig and check out your, or it could be but it's probably WLAN, your WLANO. And what you're going to want to do is identify that fourth octet, nmap-sn. This will speed things up considerably. 192.168, so all private IP space .1 . There's a couple ways of doing this. You can do like 0/24. You can do 0 through 254. But this is about the command that you would want to do. And then you should be able to find the host name DC6 from there. And once you have the host name, you just edit the host file. And here I have mine as 167 wordy. And there you go. That's how you do it. So, Dang Fang, first time chat, says, well, look who we have here. I don't know what that means, but hello, I presume you're talking about me. Hello, Dang Fang. Come on, we have a first time chat from Kampatkat. I guess saying hello, Kampatkat. HexOAC says, I think I've got it. Cheers. Find out when the fun starts. Yeah. Here we go again. Siren, am I building my methodology through these videos starting PWK, or I am. All right, here I am. Sorry, reading that one. I assume you mean, like, is this the place to build your methodology? The answer is absolutely. This is a great place to start building your methodology. in conjunction with TJ Knoll's OSCP prep list, which these are the machines that we're doing. And they're from VulnHub, PG Play, any PG practice you can get in. That's what I'm looking to help with here. Starting PWK 200 in a few weeks to come. Super excited for you, Drim. Let me know once it starts. I'm rooting for you. Dang Fang says, yep, first time here. Well, welcome, Dang Fang. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, we have about 7 minutes to go, and then we will begin. Directory, I just provided you a link. It's not on Proving Grounds. This one is from VulnHub right now. It's the DC series. That's DC 1 through 9 that we are looking to just 100% complete. So like next week will be DC 7 and so on and so forth. Just follow the channel. Any specific topics for today? Yeah, the machine that I just posted, that's going to be the topic of what we're doing. That is our target. Directory says, okay, got it. Cool. Cool. About 5 more minutes and then we'll give it the go. See, people are still trickling in. So welcome, guys. To those of you that are joining today, we're going to be doing DC 6. That's Delta Charlie 6. Available on VulnHub. I've pasted the link into the Twitch chat. And you should be able to download the .ova file. Double click it. And it should open in VirtualBox. Make sure your network is set to DHCP. And you can acquire the IP by scanning down the 4th octet of your private IP address space. Element IQ Leet says, hi all, welcome Element IQ. Glad to have you, buddy. Glad to have you. Are there any internships right now at OffSec? I don't know. That would be a good question. If you wanted to reach out to us via email, or check our website under the careers page, you'll be able to see pretty much what we're hiring for and what we're looking for. But as far as internships go, I am not aware personally of any, but that is not to say that there are none. I'm just not aware personally of any. My pleasure. You're welcome. It's me, Delane says, hey, welcome, Delane. Welcome. We're doing DC6 today. Got a couple minutes left, about 2. If you want to download it, there's the link. Just double click the .ova file, set your network to DHCP, scan down your private IP address space of your internal network or however you have your network set up, and grab that IP. You may want to load it into your Etsy hosts file, and that'll, and then, provide it the host name of Wordy. That is WORDY. And you'll be able to get that rocking and rolling as well. Oreo Bite, welcome back, buddy. Says OffSec official, what's up? Few 100 billion galaxies, man, nothing much. Getting by. It's me, Delano, says, perfect, thanks. You're welcome. My pleasure. I see we have Alfred back. Alfred is definitely a regular, so welcome back, Alfred, as well. Glad to have you, friend. Glad to have you. So what I'm going to do here is go ahead and switch over. And let me minimize this. The VM. Open up OBS. And then we'll start streaming. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, JX Crow. See you tagging in right at the end there. Welcome, my friend. So I've echoed out the IP in my top terminal. In my bottom one, I've echoed out a URL with the trailing fuzz keyword, my brain today. And then /fuzz/ in the bottom terminal. That way we can test for files out of the gate and then directories out of the web root. And that's assuming that port 80 is there. It just usually is off local, so that's what we're going to do. So off the gate, let's go ahead and get the nmap scan done. That's nmap-p- to scan all 65,535 ports. We're going to do -sc, simple scripts, -sv for a TCP banner grab, and at the target IP, tac open. And that shouldn't take too long because it's a local machine, right? It's one of the benefits of testing locally is that there's next to no latency. Whereas in the real world, that could take much longer, a full port sweep like that. So we have port 22 and port 80. So however we get into this machine, it's either immediately, we just know it's either going to be 22, 80, or some combination thereof. So we get it loaded into Cherry Tree and paste it under our nmap results. I like to do a little highlighting just to drill it in. We have port 80, HTTP, 22, services SSH, and it looks like from the banner grab with our -sv argument, we were able to get back Debian as our target OS. So I come up to the top, and I'm just going to put Debian up here. And other than that, Apache 2.4.25, double confirmation of Debian, and we already have WordPress. So our nmap scan has been nice to us, and it's gone ahead and given us the fact that it is WordPress 5.1.1. So we're going to put ports 22, SSH, up here, right? If this formats correctly one of these days. It's so finicky, but I still like it. HTTP. I'm just going to copy this. SSH, yes, 7.4 P1. Yes, correct. There it is, 7.4 P1. Sorry, I move my head to my laptop on the left just for the chat, and then I have to move it back and look at the scan, and the stream is a little delayed, so that messes with my head a little bit. At OffSec official, how do you keep track of your notes when studying? And what method would you recommend for creating backups? So if this was a PWK lab machine, man, I would just have straight up steps taken, right? Even if they're not correct, this is just going to put you like in the right mind state, right? It's just going to help. Like, you want to make sure that you have a bunch of bullet points just loaded for you. So, you know, I did an nmap scan. I found this service. I opened the browser and it was an HTTP service, had a vulnerable version, found an exploit, ran the exploit, compromised as a low priv user, escalated permissions, etc. You know, the steps that you might take. So documenting those steps while you're studying in the PWK lab will help. It will help. In fact, we'll do it a little bit differently just for you. We're going to do that this stream. Steps taken, DC6, all the way through. How about that? And then I will paste these notes into wire side text. So we did an nmap-p- -sc -sv at the target IP, tac open, retrieved ports 80 and 22. And then we have up here our community attack vectors. So we would love to hit SSH. The issue is we don't have any users or passwords yet. So that's at the bottom of our to try list. But other than that, what we're going to do is start fuzzing files, directories, and we're going to do some, manual inspection. Yep, we're going to do some manual inspection. We're going to check for robots, right? Robots.txt, DS stores, or like SVN entries, things like this that we can always check for. And this is all very much preliminary enumeration. The next thing we want to do is WP scan. Why? Because we want to use, this is a takeaway concept, we have WordPress 5.1.1. Utilize WP scan as this is the correct tool for the job. That's already a takeaway concept. Good job there, Alfred. That was actually my eyes. This is Gloom, says WP scan with aggressive plugin detection. I agree. So what we're going to do, however, just to keep things consistent, is I'm going to start fuzzing the web root, and I'll explain what I'm doing so it's not completely foreign to you. And I will grab the files one here, and then I'll just exit out of this, paste it in. So we're going to say wfuzz, which wants that keyword, right? Which is, it's always, wfuzz is going to be looking for the fuzz keyword. It requires that in the data or in the endpoint or wherever it is. We want color, file input method is file, our location is opt, seclist, discovery, web content, and we're going to be doing raft large files.txt. We're going to be excluding any 404 response messages because we don't want things that don't exist. And that's at our target URL. Now down here I have the same environment variable as the URL exported. The difference is I have a trailing /. So we're just going to do this, and instead of raft large files, we're going to replace that with raft large directories and hit the return key. And then we're going to let that go, see what we get it into Cherry Tree, and then we'll probably end up launching WP scan. Depends what this turns up. So steps taken, we fuzzed directories, files in the web root with wfuzz. We have WordPress 5.1.1. Excellent. And we're going to go ahead and grab our file output. So I'm just going to copy all of this. Pretty much don't need any of those 403s. But we're going to copy up through here, right-click, copy, and bring it over to Cherry Tree. And then I just go under Files here, and we paste it all on in. I'm going to be looking for some more 403s, just trimming up, right? Just trimming it up. Don't need anything that's erroneous or redundant or anything ridiculous like that. Like I don't need this web root right here, this dot. Like, what is that going to get me? Nothing right now. Unless it was like dot slash or forward slash in some instances of Tomcat, I believe in the past, a forward slash yielded a path traversal. But the more you know, right? So index.php, all looking like standard. There's nothing really that stands out too crazy here, right? We didn't get back any robots.txt, that's fine. But there's nothing that stands out. It's just WordPress. Let's take a look here at the directories. Are there any, exotic directories that are standing out? I don't think so. So let's take a look. I mean, do I care about icons? That's forbidden? No, I don't. But, you may want to leave it. You never know. You never know. I'll leave it there, right? WP admin, I like that one. I like WP admin. That one's cool. That's where we're going for. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and open this up. I'm going to echo out my IP of my target, which is .167. I'm going to go over to Chromium, and we're going to paste it in. And it redirects me because of my, again, emphasis, cat etc hosts, because we have this line here that we discussed in the 30-minute setup prior. It is going to resolve to Wordy. So we have HTTP Wordy as a WordPress site. Welcome to Wordy, a world leader in WordPress plugins and security. So already something funny with the plugins, that's cool. I'm going to go to Cherry Tree and just take down pretty much anything that I can. That's where I have others. So plugins, ? Maybe something to look at once we break in. But about us, at Wordy, we employ only the best developers so that we can provide you with the most secure plugins. Again, you can put your faith in us. Can we? So I think that's pretty funny. I think that's actually kind of hilarious. And yeah. But let me take a look at the chat. Hello all, I'm sorry. Yeah, Tranquil Rage gets it. 110% trust. All the trust. Contact us. So it's looking good. I'm not going to waste too much time. I see it's WordPress. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to export the URL to be this. HTTP Wordy. I'm going to specify the port because that's just what I do. I'm going to go back to my common. And I have some loaded out for WordPress. And we're going to disable TLS checks because we're not running TLS. But this is saying WP scan, the target URL is our environment variable. Disable TLS checks and enumerate P, T, and U, that is plugins, themes, and users. And let's see, what do we get back? What happens? Do we get things that are interesting? And yeah, we do. We got back a few users that are already. So if we look at our target machine directory, which is DC6, you'll see I've already placed, as is standard, like I have a users file so that it's just deployable like that, right? It's just good to go. Jens, then we found a user Graham, then we found Mark, then we found Sarah. Did we not find an admin user? Yeah, no, we did. Admin. Now, there is something that I specifically want to go ahead and get this out of the way. The creator of the machine, in order to save everybody a lot of time, is giving us a command. And the reason for this is because it will just, again, redundant, it will save a lot of time. You want to cat user share word list rocku, right? Except what we want to do is we want to grep -i for K01, anywhere at the K01 point in rocku, and output that to, we'll call that passwords, right? And I'll put that in the current working directory. So I'll type pwd/passwords. And now if we cat passwords, we have a long list, very much still a long list, but a lot more targeted. And this is kind of like what I call the demonstrator card. but I do want 100% completion on these machines, and the author did say that if you want any hope of getting in, you're going to need to do that. And the name of the machine is also wordy, so if you combine those things together, you can see kind of where we're going. If we count users, we have admin, Jens, Graham, Mark, and Sarah, right? First time chat from Machine Gun 417. What are you using for a terminal program? This is Terminator. I use Terminator. So what we're going to do now is, now that we have that, is think to ourselves, like, okay, we've got some valid users. We're going to go back to our notes. What users do we have? Admin, Jens, Graham, Mark, and Sarah. Do we have any passwords for them? No, but what we do need to do is launch JXCrow. I didn't even have to say it before I said it. He's got it. Brute forcing time. That is correct. So again, in my comment, I have one for just in case WordPress comes along. And it is pretty much the same command. I'll run it through, but WP scan --URL on the target URL. Disable TLS checks if we're not working with TLS. -U users. This is going to be our users file. So it's going to attempt to brute force each of these for each new line. And the password is going to be present working directory /passwords. And we're just going to hit the return key on that. And that did not want to work, so maybe we can just hit passwords or /. Yeah, there it goes. So did you public your common file in the Discord? Negative. I have a post, if we go over to Discord, and check out Wireside Text, check out the pen section. I have a little bit of a post for the future, reference for the future regarding any of my aliases, things like that. I encourage you guys to make your own. I really do. If you don't develop the skill set of making your own reference files locally, it will cripple you. And that is not the name of my game. So I encourage you to take the time. And yeah, it's fun and educative. Find those resources, alias out your commands, and rock it. But that's pretty much the gist of what I have here. So we're going to let this brute force kind of just run. Cat users. And in case we get any creds, I'm just going to touch creds in case we actually get any valid user password combinations. We're already pretty good. 3,000 requests to 14. So 14K. HexOAC, it's part of it, right? Building your own files and commands. Yes, it is, my friend. It is part of, it's part of it. Absolutely. 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 I would love to, but at the same time, hindsight 2020, looking back, I don't think it would help. It wouldn't make better penetration testers out of you guys, and that's what I encourage you to do, is learn how to sharpen your own sword. Yeah, exactly. Oyafont, sharpen your own sword. Do you have your directory structure in a repo for easy reuse? I do not. I intentionally do not have any such GitHub repository or anything like that. No social media. Fair, yes, thank you. Coming up on 6K requests here, and then hopefully we'll get something. Hopefully something will shake loose. I mean, I do want to say that I provide you resources, right? Offensive security, we provide you resources in our courses, reference documentation, don't we? And if one was so inclined, they could take all of that reference documentation from their subscription like say, where did they learn this from, or where did they get this idea from? We include our references. It's all public domain. And, check them out. Actually go into those references. Dig a little deeper. Make your own aliases that pertain to that topic, that concept, that port, that service, that particular tool usage. And it'll become, hey, we got a success. So we're going to nano creds, and we have Mark with help desk 01. Super. So we're going to go back here to /WP admin, and I am actually going to go straight to cherry tree so I don't forget, and add that we got from this particular target, and this should be .167, I believe, right? If I echo out the IP, or echo URL. Yeah, this is 167. So I've corrected that there, but Mark and help desk 01. Fantastic. So now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and log in wpadmin.php. Oop, if I can spell. Just what if we try wp /WP admin? There it goes. And Mark help desk 01. Actually, let's see if an error message username enumeration exists on this version of WordPress. So I don't exist. It's some random password. Error invalid username. And if I type in admin and some bogus password, we receive a different bite-sized response. You see, the password you entered for the username admin is incorrect. That means the username admin exists. If we type in Mark and a bogus password, similarly, Mark is incorrect. If we give it Mark was here, the bogus password, and valid username. So that is known as error message username enumeration, and that will save you a lot of time. Help desk 01. So let me help desk 01. And I believe we are in. Excellent. So we're not an admin user, it doesn't look like from the glance. Tools, users, let's take a look. We have Graham, Jens, Mark, Sarah, and we could try to move towards the admin user. Let's check our brute force. So of those users, we were only really able to get back help desk 01 from Mark. That's fine. One user should be enough for compromise anyway. So we're going to go to activity monitor, right? And can we add a new user? I like your thinking, JXCro. We're going to go to activity monitor and see what's going on here. So if we go to HTTP Wordy, they did tell us that, we can put our faith in them and our trust in them because they develop only the most secure of plugins and extensions. And I don't know whether you're going to trust that or not, but what we have is a plugin called Activity Monitor. And you're going to go ahead, if I bring this down, you're going to see all these login failed attempts. Whatever could that be? Well, that was our brute forcing back through 134 pages. If we go to the first logs ever on this machine, you can see where the admin user came in and he started making posts, right? And then changed up the password, switched the theme to 2019. See what I'm saying? Log in Mark to test that, so it's definitely working. What we're going to do is exit this bottom terminal. I'm going to clear this out, and we're going to type search exploit, and we're going to look for WordPress activity monitor. And that didn't come out. I didn't spell activity. Activity monitor. Okay, so we have two, probably versions of the same thing, and that's fine. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm going to copy this Python version, exploit number 50,110. That is WordPress plugin plain view activity monitor remote code execution, or RCE, but it is authenticated. It requires valid user credentials. Now, we don't have admin credentials, but we can access and we can gain a real session ID is the important part. We can gain a valid session ID because we have real user credentials. So I'm just going to continue here. I'm going to say that we logged in. We'll say WP scan brute force gave Mark with help desk 01, and then we logged in to HTTP wordy/WP admin as Mark help desk 01, discovery of vulnerable plugin, and the vulnerable plugin was activity monitor. Now we're even going to include what it would be, and the exploit number in the exploit database is 50,110. I'm going to make a few more of these. I kind of like this style, actually. And what we're going to do is bring that. So I have bringMeIt.shell. What is bringMeIt.shell? It's the same thing essentially as typing searchsploit-m and copying it to the current directory. See, it would ask for me to overwrite it. But if I cat bin bringMeIt.shell, it's just my own little custom shell script. That's all. But other than that, we're going to nano 50110 and take a look if there's anything here. Okay, we already have usage commented for us. So Python 3 WordPress activity monitor remote code execution.py. So input IP, input user, input password, and it looks like we'll just get code execution. So Python 3, it might end up being a pseudo terminal, which in these instances, in these types of remote code execs that provide a shell, it is often going to be a pseudo terminal. But we're going to launch that here. What's your target IP? For me, it's 192.168.1.167. Remember, that's going to be different for you. If I go back to the virtual machine here, you see it running DC6 login. That's tossed up on the network. It's going to be different for you. What's your username? We have Mark. And what's your password? Helpdesk01. And perfect, please wait. So we have code execution on this machine. I'm going to start a netcat listener and say netcat NLVP, that is to say netcat numeric form instead of hostname resolution, numeric standard IP format, listen verbosely on port 1. And what we're going to do is netcat-netverbose. Actually, we'll just say it might have problems with the dash because this is going to be, if you think of what it's doing here, it's really submitting post data. Imagine it in your mind as something like burp suite and repeater, and we don't want any hiccups. So I'm just going to netcat, and I am probably going to just type in my IP here, 192.168.1.7 on port 1, and dash execute bin bash. And if I do that, then it says we have a connect. If I type ID, now we have a proper shell and we don't have to worry about any, just any crap. So if I type TTY, it's not a valid TTY. I'm going to type my breakout command and I'm going to spawn a valid TTY with python-c. Import pty.spawn. So now if we type TTY, take a look. It says dev pts0. That means we're the only shell or pseudo teletype interface that exists on this particular machine. Looking at the chat, HeoxAC says -e broke the connection. I'm not sure. I don't think it would, bud. I do not think it would. Make sure that you're not typing -nv. That would be a different scenario. So I want this to be a stable shell. I'm going to export the paths to be distro global. I'm going to export the terminal to have color capability. I'm going to export my LL to clear out everything and list out everything in a human readable format. Then I'm going to Control-Z to background the process. Word of caution, this will only work with bash. It will not work with Z shell. So I'm going to then type in stty raw-echo into the foreground and reset command, hit return twice. And now if I hit Control-C, that means I can execute code on this machine, drop binaries, cancel out of them, and I don't have to worry about losing my valid shell. I'm going to export just basically max rows and columns, clear it out, and I think we're in business. Everybody. Oh, it works for you on ZSH. Okay, great. See, I looked it up online, and people were saying for ZSH it was not working, or that ZSH had issues with it. But the stable shell trick, you have to add semicolon FG to get it to work, which is what I do. I'll have to look into that and see if anything was updated with Z shell. But it was not working before. Works on my machine, great. I mean, you guys are following along. Heck yeah. So let's go ahead and check out WP admin, right? Like, I'm on this machine. I want root level compromise to the database. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to cat WP config. This was WordPress, so to get the database information, post exploitation, I cat WP config.php. And it looks like the username for the WordPress database is, MySQL database is WP DB user, and this is the password. So I'm going to type MySQL -u WP DB user and -p this password, and now we are effectively in with root authority over the MySQL database. That means we can exfiltrate any and all sensitive information from the machine that is stored in a DB. So show databases, and this will list out all the databases. Here's the WordPress installation. Say we want to use that. Use WordPress DB. And show the tables. Select all from WP users. And what we would end up having is a list of hashes in conjunction with a list of usernames on this machine. Just in case, for my engagement right now, or the future, I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to touch hashes in my target directory. I'm going to nano the file and just paste it in. I'm just going to leave that for later, and we'll exit out of this. We'll exit out of this, and then I'll make this more legible. What kind of machine is this, if I may ask? Is this Proving Grounds negative? I've pasted the link there if you would like to download it. And try it. It is from VulnHub. It's part of the DC series. Thanks, Alfred. All right, great. Nice crowd. Yeah, I like the community here. I do agree. Yuri's and Lux. Sick, thank you. Awesome. All right, guys. So continuing along, let's check out the home directory. And here's all of our users. We have Jens, Mark, Graham, and Sarah. Let's go to Jens. And we have backups.shell, which is cool, but let's actually go back to Jen's. Can we check her bash history? .bash history? Permission denied. What if we go to Mark and we cd to the stuff directory and cat things to do? Well, for the user Graham, we have a password now. So they've left behind plain text passwords on this machine. And if we nano our passwords file and put at the very top the ones that work, this was helpdesk01, and this one right here, and we nano creds, just to keep it. We have Graham and this. Excellent. So now we can switch to a valid user on the machine. What does that mean? If we can switch to a valid user on the machine, then we might be able to gain sudo privileges. I will not be able to sudo -l as www-data because it's not really counted as a real user. We're kind of like a ghost user is the way I think of it whenever we're www-data. But if we switch user to Graham and paste in the password, we now have account level compromise of that user. So I'm going to export my paths again. I'm going to export my terminal to be color, and I am going to export the ll command. Great. Other than that, Dang Fang says, OffSec official, your link is broken because of the comma. Negative, that's actually intended. We do that on purpose. We kind of, quote, break the link on purpose. But I do assure you the target web server will interpret it correctly. If you copy the full comma 315 and paste that into your browser, it should work. In fact, if I just do that, yeah, it does. So there you have that. I hope that makes sense. Just copy, yeah, Captain Crunch has it. Just copy over the entire URL with the comma over to your browser. So now that we're a real user on this machine, do we want to check for SUIDs and GUIDs? Let's do it. I mean, but there's something else that I'm waiting in the chat to see while we check for SUIDs, you know, PKExec, PoonKit, all the things everybody loves nowadays. So what are some things that we would look for? What do you think? Sudo-l? Okay, let's do it. So the user Graham may run the following commands on DC6. As user Jen, we can execute, oh, would you look at that? The backups.shell file. That's cool. So let's do a little nifty thing here. Let's go back. Let's go into Jen's directory and let's just echo bin bash and double append here. Notice how I am appending. This would overwrite the file. This will append to the last line. Exactly, Odinger75. Abuse that backups.shell, that custom content, something left behind by the user, probably with write privileges. This is more common than you know. Backups.shell. And if we cat backups.shell now, you'll see our malicious bin bash placed into and at the end of the file. So we're going to sudo -u as the user gens, right? And then we're just going to specify home gens and what was it? Backups.shell. And if I type ID, hey, there we go. So it did the tar backup, right? And then we switched and changed over to UID 1004. Gens. What is something that we want to do when we are a real user? I'll wait. I'll wait. Check the SSH folder. I like that. Yeah, let's check that out. But I don't see an SSH folder here. You got the right idea. Yeah, we want to look for SSH keys. Can we spray them across the network? You know what I mean? Can we grab some keys? Sudo-l again. That's right. This time it says we can run nmap. That's kind of nice. Does anybody know why we have root level compromise of this machine now? What functionality of nmap is something that we can abuse to escalate our permissions? You could certainly try sudo user bin nmap. This is a very old version of nmap that supports --interactive. However, this one does not. So that's a great guess at HeoxAC, but that was patched by the nmap developers. And GNU says --script. I agree. What script are we going to do? I'll tell you. We're going to make our own. We're going to make our own. So I'm going to echo out a one-liner .nse script. So let's say everybody here knows that, maybe you don't know, maybe you want to learn, --script is equal to, you know, http methods.nse. And this will be pulled when you run this, like on -p80, it's some port, some IP, whatever. It's going to run that NSE scripts out of the native nmap NSE script directory. But we can also specify our own, and we can create our own, which is great. So we're going to echo out os.execute of bin bash. Actually, that's going to have to be a single quote because we have doubles wrapping the thing. And we're going to output, then, well, we got to close that. Then we got to output that to a world writable directory. If I try to output it here as offsec.nse, will that work? I don't think so. Why would that not work? Why will this not work? Because we don't have write permissions to the root file system. What if I tried to put it in /root? I don't think that'll work either. We don't have write permissions there. Where do we have write permissions? There are 3 locations universally that we will be able to find write permissibility. That is var temp, or temp /temp /var temp and dev shim, regardless of whether or not you are a real user. These are the 3 locations that you can write your payloads to. So we're going to output to / my favorite, which is var tmp, and we'll call it offsec.nse. Nice. Let's cat var temp offsec.nse. Seems that it's there. Let's run sudo -l again to get a recap of what's going on. Welcome, Maticus. Glad to see you, buddy. If you missed the stream, that's no problem. We'll get it up on YouTube for you here in the next hour or so. User ben nmap. So let's type sudo, and this goes as root, right? User ben nmap -- script. It is not GTFO Ben's times. We got this, man. We got this. We could use it though. I'm all for it. All for it. Var temp offsec.nse. And now we have root compromise of this machine. The shell's a little funny, but I could care less. We're executing, yeah, exactly, you know, bling, bling. Oh. It's definitely not liking me. What is this atrocity? Okay, cd root. You can't even see me type. cd /root. This is, okay, there it is. There's the flag. We're here. PWD, right? Yeah. Can't even see. That's not a valid command. Okay. LSLSA. We're going to cat the flag.text. Well done. Congratulations. Hope you enjoyed DC6. Just wanted to send a big thanks out there to all those who have provided feedback and who have taken the time to complete these little challenges. If you enjoyed this CTF, send me a tweet. So we're going to go back to our notes here, and we're going to document for this machine the steps that we took that led to compromise. We examined the home directory to discover system-level users. /home /gens had a file with backup credentials for the user Graham. And then we switched user to Graham with the valid credentials. Or no, wait, this is backwards, isn't it? We had Graham first for the user. You know what? I don't even care about the root here. I just want to go home. Let's see what we got. Was it gens that we found that in? No, that was the backups. Was it? Oh, it was Mark, wasn't it? We found it in Mark's stuff. So yeah, examined home /mark /stuff. And that was a file with the backup credentials for use on account Graham. And then we switched user to Graham. We ran a sudo -l, and we did an overwrite. Right? We did an overwrite. I'm actually just gonna say that we did an overwrite of /home gens backups.shell. And this essentially led to what? Ben bash plant. We planted that there. A little bit of malicious code. So that when we sudo -u gens of home gens backups.shell, we received a bash shell as gens at DC6. That's where it put us. Then we did another sudo -l, and we had user ben nmap as root. And obviously we just go ahead and echo os.system ben bash out to, let's wrap that there, var temp offsec.nse, and then we ran sudo user ben nmap on var, and we said -- script is equal to var temp offsec.nse, and we received the #, aka root level compromise of the machine. So that is the full kind of route that we took. I'm going to cat the creds, bring this over. We're going to talk about a little bit of a takeaway concept, if we can. So, yes, this did actually lead to Activity Monitor, RCE, authenticated with user mark. And one takeaway concept is if we can gather a just a legitimate session ID for any web application, and there exists an authenticated exploit, then it should work fine. AKA, basically, i.e., it doesn't always have to be an admin user. Hope that's making sense. And another takeaway from this machine, if we have a real user on the machine, sudo-l, see if there's any extended permissibility, right? See if any of that's going on. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and check out offensivesecurity.com, see if there's anything new on the homepage. I don't think there would be, but we're going to check it out anyway. Nope, just our courses here that we offer. Let's check out /events. And scrolling on down, I believe we just got done with AD. And this one is coming up here, March 23rd, 2022 at 12 p.m. Eastern. We have one here, and Ask Me Anything, that you can register and sign up for with Jeremy Miller, Harbinger, and Dr. Heather Monthi. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Head of Cybersecurity Training, Education, and Innovation. So wonderful woman. And I'm sure that will be, if you work in HR or you work in recruiting, this is going to be the one for you to watch and sign up for. Even if you don't, it's going to be a good one to tune in for. Other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my terminal. And what we're going to do is just kind of switch our input source, see if there's any final questions. Oh, what am I doing? Before I leave, I'm not going to forget this again. I'm copying the notes over to Discord. So if you check out Wireside Text, please do that. Wireside Text, that is going to be DC6 for this week. And I've gone ahead and pasted in message.txt there. So that's going to be that. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to myself, the student mentors. Email us at orders@offensivetaxsecurity.com or challenges@offensivetaxsecurity.com. I want to thank you guys very much for being here and being consistent every week. To any of the students that are struggling in the PWK or with any of our courses, I want to say never give up. Keep trying, do your best. Don't you dare give up. You keep going and you'll make it. You can make it, you can do it. And I want you all to, try and remain positive in these days as much as possible. Encourage each other, do the best that you can. And with all that said, I'm just going to say, happy hacking, intruders, and I will catch you all next week. Take care.